My name is Chanel, for those of you who do not know me, and this is a resurgence of me. This is a resurgence, a reintroduction of me committing to the thing that I have been so fearful of, which is, consistently speaking my mind, putting my thoughts and my opinions and my viewpoints out there in the world. But I cannot live a life of fear. I cannot live a life of not fulfilling what I know is purpose to me. So here we are. The title of this video is The Moment I Realized That Financial Security, Financial Stability doesn't exist. And I want you guys to entertain this thought in terms of how you view financial stability in your life. Back in 2019, I was working a corporate job in digital marketing. I was in charge of handling social media management of multiple accounts. And at that time, it wasn't fulfilling to me only because I was pursuing so many other things and I didn't feel fulfilled in that regard because everything that inspired me, everything that made me want to create was hindered by my 9 to 5. And so I decided to leave. I decided to leave my job. I decided to pursue what was in my heart, pursue my creative endeavors without much of a plan, without any real idea of what was coming with 2020. Now I had made the plan, I had made the decision, if you will, to fully resign at the top of the year, at the top of 2020. And I look back on those moments in hindsight like I was moving in accordance to what God was putting on my heart, what God was telling me to do. And I did it as fearful as I was, as naive as I was, and some would say. I decided to leave my job. I decided to leave the comfort of my 9 to 5 to go and explore entrepreneurship. And what many people do not know is that I decided to do that in a whole nother state. Originally, I'm from New York. Shout out to the Bronx. But I decided to make that move, and I decided to move outside of the state, with this being my very first time ever leaving. And with little savings, I decided to move to Atlanta, Georgia. In Atlanta, Georgia, I was hopeful. I was very impressed by the atmosphere. And if you are interested in me giving you a deeper dive on my whole Atlanta chapter, definitely leave a comment below and we will get into it, because baby, that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. But yeah, like, going to Atlanta really opened my eyes. It gave me perspective on what was possible at that time, and without really having the necessary, like, the physical resources on hand, I was so driven to make it happen for myself. And then COVID happened. Like, the panty happened, the panoramic, the pandemic, whatever you want to call it, okay? It happened. Yeah, my whole entire plan for what it was gonna look like, what I was gonna do out there in Atlanta changed. It shifted in the next couple of weeks because everything began to close. Opportunities felt very minute. It felt very scarce. People weren't sure of what was happening. People were afraid. People were fearful of interacting with one another. People weren't as confident as they were in regards to just, making new things happen. I wasn't really sure how to do things moving forward. I wasn't really sure on the plan moving forward. I wasn't really sure on my decision on what to do moving forward, because all this action that I had put forth to move to a new location, to end my commitment with my employer at the 9 to 5 establishment, it was, I put in all this effort, and then all of a sudden I am faced with heavy restriction to the thing that I'm pursuing. Long story short, it just didn't work out. I ended up having to come back to New York, reestablish myself, find a job, and make things happen for myself. Make things happen for myself by the grit, by the will, by the strength of what I knew what was possible. Now, what I will say is, in me doing so, in me pursuing new opportunities after the pandemic and after I re-entered New York, I was very intentional. I became even more intentional about what I was doing, about what I was saying, and the opportunities that I wanted to gravitate towards me. I remember vividly like tweeting about working with Black women, Black entrepreneurs, and I didn't want the same experience that I had before with working at a venture capital. And if you are familiar with the venture capital, then you know that the culture is it is what it is. So I wanted something different, and I wanted to be able to creatively involve myself on projects that involve people that look like me, involve people who understood my lingo, who made it easy to work, who just gave me a different vibe. And I was successful in that. I was definitely successful in that. I was able to land a new position at a multi-million company, working closely with the CEO and being able to drive community sales and products and lifestyle all in one go. To bring it back to financial stability isn't the job. Isn't the job that so many of us thought that we were gonna have and bank on to pay our rent, to pay our mortgages, to fund our lives and all the things. And I say that because look at the time that we're in. For a point of reference, I'm shooting this video the top of 2025. You know, the housing market looks crazy. The economic dependence of the US at this time looks nuts. People are complaining about not being able to find a job. You know, the idea of what a job is so expansive at this time. There's so many of us who are thriving and plunging ourselves more and more into the digital era, into the digital space. That just goes to show that the things that we decide to bank on are never what they really are. And so I had to spend a lot of time reevaluating what it is that I want to do. Financial stability is what you make it. It is the breath in which you live. It is the opportunities that you gather for yourself. It is the effort that you put forward. It is the drive that pushes you. And it is a constant, but it is not like solidified in the things that we acquire. How many times have you had to evaluate your life and think about what stability, financial stability looks like for you? How many times have you had to change the game plan in regards to how you're going to provide for yourself and how you are going to fulfill yourself on a soul level in regards to what you do on a daily basis? How has that shaped your life in the last 5 years? What do you think financial stability will look like for you in the next 5 years? The time is now, y'all. We have to do every single thing that is on our heart, that keeps us up at night today, because tomorrow is not promised. And I don't want to make this video sound morbid in any way, but I just want to remind you that you have all the things that you need to make it happen. It may not be what you envision it to be in your head, but just maybe it'll turn out better than you ever expected. You just have to leave room for that opportunity to unfold. Let's revise, let's reframe how we think about financial security, and know that financial security lies within us living in the present and absolutely being ourselves. If you found this video helpful in any way, please give me a like, a comment, a share. Leave your comments down in the video. Answer the question of what you think financial stability has been. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to converse with you on that level, because I think a lot of these conversations need to be had. We just need a platform to explore. So until next time.